My name is Hannah from Java House Church, and I'm currently serving as a youth teacher. Today I want to share about the heart that God has given me through completing the Life of the Word Bible study. Initially had no plans of participating. I ended up joining because this Bible study was the only option I had this semester, and I had no excuse this time to say I was too busy. However, reflecting now, I'm thankful to see how God brought me to participate and worked in me during this period of time. As a youth teacher, which teach the Life of the Word Bible study every year, and being in the youth myself before that, I had done this Bible study countless times. In junior high school, I followed my mum when she did this Bible study, and I also read the whole Bible, though I realise now that it was probably just words without much of an understanding. Combined with the fact that I had gone to church all my life, I began this Bible study with an arrogant heart. Embarrassingly, though I was sure there would be details that I didn't know, I believed I knew enough about the big picture of the Bible, so I didn't really have much expectation or desire to learn. The first few sessions seemed to confirm these thoughts. I felt like I wasn't learning much that was new, and it slowly became less intriguing. However, I continued attending mainly due to a sense of responsibility and the shame that would come with quitting, as it would seem like I just gave up. But somewhere along the way, God slowly began to change my heart. Don't know why, but I began to open my ears, and my attitude towards learning began to shift slowly to become more interested. I began to hear many details that I had never understood or had even learned before. And because the material is naturally simplified when teaching the youth, I realized how much of the Bible I only knew at a surface level, and even books I knew absolutely nothing about. I had never truly put in the effort to piece different parts together to apply this knowledge into reading the Bible, which made me easily give up every time I tried to read. Here I was able to understand the purpose of this Bible study, not just to hear the context, but to understand the one big connected story of the Bible, and to be able to read it with this context to truly visualize how God has been working to create his kingdom since the beginning of time. I believe he opened my ears and humbled my heart to hear his word and let go of my arrogance. Even though I did struggle to complete all the Bible reading homework, it was a chance for me to reflect on my stance on the Bible and realize the significance of it and how God can use it to speak to me. I really hope to continue reading the Bible to spend more time with God. God also helped me to practically apply something I learned from this Bible study into an area of my life where I was struggling. Currently, I'm in my research year of medical school, where I spend the year conducting research, running studies at the hospital, and writing a manuscript instead of any uni classes or placement. It was quite smooth sailing until I reached a major challenge of recruiting participants for my study. Every week, I meet my supervisor to discuss my progress, but I became increasingly anxious before every meeting because recruitment wasn't going well. I would explain what I did try to do, but so much was out of my control. My supervisor was nice, but would always seem disappointed that I hadn't done more because she couldn't see the results. I always put in lots of effort because I hate disappointing others, but this felt like my efforts were being ignored. I started to feel more discouraged and helpless, which made me afraid to attend each meeting. Around that time, our Bible study was covering the kings of Israel and Judah and the many wars they faced. It crossed my mind that without God, these kings could not achieve victories, but I didn't think much of it as it didn't feel like the focus of that lesson. However, that week I shared these struggles during house church, and as we prayed, God suddenly placed two words in my heart: surrendering versus giving up. I realized that I had been giving up, not surrendering. I was overwhelmed and felt defeated at my helplessness, so I had just left the problem aside and given up, thinking there was nothing else I could do, even though the stresses were always in the back of my mind. However, God gave me a clear heart that I was not surrendering, which is admitting my weakness to God in prayer and leaving it to him, even though the helpless situation remains the same. It was as if I had just chosen to stop fighting and lose the battle, instead of seeking God and asking him to fight for me. I repented and began to pray about it from that day onwards. Honestly, things still aren't going as we had initially planned, even though the deadline is approaching. However, God has shown me steady improvement in the recruitment process every time I chose to pray and surrender the problem to him. He showed me that when I truly surrender to him, I can also surrender the results, so that even if it doesn't follow my plans, he will take care of me according to his plan. These realizations from God has replaced much of my anxiety with peace before my meetings. I thank God for using this difficult season to teach me what it means to truly surrender. I pray to continue bringing my weaknesses before Him and to continue reading the Word to hear what He has to say. Thank you